motion that we accept the minutes from April 8th, 2025.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. And then again, the other ones. March 11th.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes from March 11th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
No, thank you. All right, so the Scanlon Timber intent, we have this, and they have provided us all the information that we need, correct?
Yes. So we just need to sign it so it can go to the DRA so we can clean that timber and timber.
Sure. So that's going by now to John Hopkins.
That's for the mill slips.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Thank you. All right, well, you guys are signing that. We have a letter from Xfinity. We are writing to share the updated information below should the cable television license franchise in your community contain a notices section. Please be aware all notices being served upon Comcast licenses franchise should be delivered providing for a receipt as proof of delivery to the following. And they give their address. We'll have the address in the minutes, as well as on the website if need be. As you know, Comcast is coming through, Xfinity is coming through with the, help me, Ken.
Finalization of the build out of Fidium fiber.
Yes.
Got installed at my house today.
I heard.
So the Fidium is Xfinity, it's not consolidated,
It's Xfinity.
so it's cable?
Video.
It's Fidium, Xfinity fiber. So it is a cable, it got installed, but you have both the fiber and the wireless capability. Depending on what routers you want, what you want to do.
Can't get it on my road somewhere.
No?
No, not houses.
They lie.
Next, we have the road agent report. Mr. Bolio.
How's it going? So we got dirt cleanup we've been doing. I'm waiting for Caterpillar to come fix the quick buckler on the backhoe so we can sweep our asphalt roads. Seems how it's loose. The select board doesn't want me to touch it, which I agree with. I've been on the phone with New Hampshire DOT quite a bit, and they got a lot of projects going on I-89, and I'm trying to get us a bunch of asphalt millings that we can put on our gravel roads to improve them as a gravel. That being said, they're either gonna dump them in Wilmot and we'll have to truck it from there, or I have a spot in Grantham that is a possibility, but I'm still waiting to hear back from them, and we'll just be trucking. If it's in Grantham, we'll probably have to bring the backhoe there to load our trucks, because the state won't let us run their equipment. We got Cody trying to learn to run a grader. He's got a long ways to go. And
Winter Road wasn't that rough.
that one was one of the better ones he did. So that being said, said, that's about it for me. Once Caterpillar comes and fixes the backhoe, we'll sweep the asphalt, and next week we're gonna start 4 10-hour days instead of 5 days a week, and we're gonna get kitchen. GMI will be here, June 2nd to grind Cash Street. And then I have 15 culverts to replace. My father is very busy, so the town's gonna have to figure out how we can get a compactor to replace those culverts, because he's going to need his when he gets back.
What's the price of a compactor?
They vary from 3,500 to 10, 15 grand, I don't know what you wanna spend. You can rent them, but I think with all the culverts we have in place, we're better off purchasing one.
You wanna look into it?
Yeah, I think we need to.
So we'll look into a culvert, compactor.
We might have to do a little research on it.
How big one are you looking at?
How big do you need, Joseph? What are you talking
2
about?
foot by 2 foot, or?
Yeah, roughly, yeah. You just want a good compactor. I'll do some more research and get back to you on what we're doing.
Yeah, if you want to email it to Melissa's that way, whoever of us has the time to research it.
I've priced them through Carol, and I know you could probably get them cheaper, but I think they're like $2,500 or $3,500 for one of their bigger ones. But I don't know what the compact ratio is of it, so I gotta see what that is.
Right.
You gotta be able to take it off.
Gotta back over that. Thank you.
Joe, just as a quick one, you're getting a good deal probably from the state of those brines, but, and you do have a bunch down in Twin Rock that's available if you need more.
That's $18 a pound, trying to get it from the state for free.
Yeah, I know, that's why I said, I knew that from the state for free, but I just didn't, I knew that was available, which is still probably cheaper than some things.
It'll cost us, like I said, fuel trucking, and we might have to bring the backhoe either to Wilmot to load or Grantham to load. But at that point, it's in the state location, and it gets locked behind a gate at the end of the day, and we won't have to worry about it.
That's a lot better.
I'd still, Joseph, I'd like to say thank you for getting to the transfer station road and getting those cans and stuff out there. And don't forget, if you would, you had a number where we could try to work that can, but I know you've been running around crazy busy, and I just want to say I appreciate you getting out there and getting all that stuff done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We need the town clerk so we can get him out of here.
Oh, okay. We're gonna skip to item number 11, updates from the town clerk, please.
So you can go home.
Yeah, I'm trying to go get some dinner. Yeah, so we have dog licensing that is due by the end of April. If you do not register your dog by the end, before July 1st, there's a $25 civil forfeiture that's applied to that. And then those certified letters will be going out after you guys sign the warrant, after your first meeting. So it should be the 3rd week of June that people will be seeing that. If you come in and you have an appointment, or if you plan on doing that you need the inoculation and you need to do that, just let us know so that we can do that. And just know that afterwards we're going to be getting that information in the updated version of that, as long as we can verify that you guys have an appointment with your vet. What else?
Inventory forms.
Inventory forms?
Oh, inventory forms were due on the 15th. We're still processing them. If you haven't gotten them in, or if you didn't receive yours, please, just, it helps us manage the assessing side of things, and especially with the reevaluation coming up later this year, it's absolutely necessary that we have as much updated information so that we're not scrapping up to do everything this fall. And then the last thing is that I'm asking the select board in order to be able to give me a little bit of wiggle room in order to kind of abate some of the low tax bills that typically anywhere from $4, I think there's one for just a few cents, or maybe a check wasn't written out properly and it only cleared for that amount versus the intended amount. I'm asking for the select board to kind of give me the leeway, to set a dollar amount that, that I'm allowed to abate up to without really having to do that. And if there's any other ones that I feel that were inappropriately applied, then this really is almost specifically just Moonlight. So every time we have to send out a certified letter, or if we need to pay to do deed research or title research, these people don't own the land underneath their feet. They only own like the camper that's there and needs the lot, and that's how they should be taxed. We're working with Moonlight in order to make sure that we don't have these issues moving forward. But for example, there's this individual. There was a $3 that I know he paid, but he forgot to add the 3 at the end in the number line, and so the bank cleared his check for $3 less than he had done, and now he has 9 cents in interest. I don't think that we should be wrapping $20 bills around these tax bills as we send them out the door. It just feels like it's throwing good money after bad. Yeah. So I would ask that the select board kind of set like a dollar limit, and then if there's anything above and beyond that I feel needs to be corrected, we can have that conversation.
Yeah. It's typical, most towns we round up to $25, and I think especially with some of these at Moonlight, we can give our town clerk the leeway. We can always ask for a report, and once this has been done, we can get a report so that we can keep track of these, and if we have any questions.
Yeah, if someone turns around and they're like if they only get a $9.43 tax bill and they're constantly doing this, and they're using that, oh, it's under $6 amount, they're not going to chase me for it, then we can keep track of that, and so if someone decides to play that game, we can step right to it.
Okay. But I'm comfortable with, I make a motion that we allow the town clerk to use his judgment to abate up to $25 in overdue tax bills.
I second that.
All in favor?
Great, thanks guys.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thanks.
Alright. I make a motion to open public forum 1. Second. Those in favor? Aye. Oh. Alright, who's got what?
I'll start the process. This is Russ Edwards, Point Hill. I have submitted a number of the appointments for the budget committee, and the only one that's left is my own. I'd rather not appoint myself, so I'd like the select board member to appoint me, and then I'll be in the process of setting up our first meeting and announcements out.
Okay. We can do that. Thank you.
My name is Neil Smith from Fort Henry Road, and I was just trying to get some clarification on why you guys decided to post Fort Henry Road.
We posted all the roads this year.
Is there any reason why? I mean, that hasn't been done ever before.
We know it's being misused. It's what the weight limits are being exceeded on that road. So it is a town road, and therefore we have the right as a select board to post it.
Did you speak with your road agent about whether you can post it?
It was per the select board. Yep.
It's for the select
Per the
board.
select board.
I believe, for you. This is RSA 231-191.
Yep.
The governing body of a municipality may establish maximum weight limits, seasonal or otherwise, which are more restrictive than the limits set forth in RSA 266-17-26 for any class 3, 4, 5, or 6 highway or portion of such highway. When the highway agent determines that such highway requires posting to prevent unreasonable damage or extraordinary municipal maintenance expense.
Yep. Hold on one second.
Is there going to be any extraordinary maintenance expense to the town on Fort Henry Road?
There was, to prevent unreasonable damage, we requested that the road agent post the road. There was a loaded log truck that was observed coming out of the road on second.
Where are you reading from?
My phone.
Okay,
So I was notified by the road agent that there was a loaded log truck that was coming off of that road on March 12th of this year.
was there any unreasonable damage?
We didn't have any type of an intent from that road. We weren't sure who was timbering on that road. And so to prevent any unreasonable damage to any of the landowners on that road, we decided to have all of the Class 6 roads posted so that anybody would see that they were not to utilize the roads if they were overloaded. That is why they got posted.
Okay, and then, are you guys gonna give me an extension for the farm? Because I have a farm that we often are over that posted weekend.
So all you have to do, and it states it right in the RSA, is just come in and ask the board. We have a public hearing, and if you're gonna be over the 6-ton limit, let us know.
Okay,
We're not gonna stop you from doing a business, but we didn't have a timber intent that was a legal timber
and
intent.
that was a paperwork issue, it's been dealt with since then.
Do we have a legal timber
No,
intent?
I
We do
do
not
not.
have a
No.
legal timber intent for that one.
No.
We do not.
That was dealt with like months ago.
No,
No,
it
no.
was never handled properly.
I was down here at the last meeting, and,
January 15th.
yeah, and then we talked about the road. I said, the town doesn't maintain it. They don't touch, they don't have nothing to do with it.
We own it, tell them.
So this is
I
nothing.
understand that, but she spent $7,000, I did all the work on it. We kept it maintained, the road has never been unpassable. I have 2 excavators, dogs up there, anything happens, we take care of it. Wait till
The
that
timber
happens.
intent, the legality of the timber intent has nothing to do about the road. The timber intent was not signed.
Okay,
by all.
that's a separate issue. You just said it has nothing to do with the.
It has, we do not have a legal timber intent for that, for any properties up there.
Okay,
None.
but that's a separate issue, right? You just said it was a separate issue.
No,
That's a separate issue.
I said
His January comment, that was a separate
it
issue.
was a separate issue.
I was under the impression that that was.
Okay, so I'm gonna call point of order. You gentlemen are in here in open forum, and I appreciate that you have concerns and we want to address them. But if we're gonna take more than the 5 minutes that are allowed for open forum, then we'll ask you to come back and put yourselves down for an agenda item when we can discuss this.
Okay, did you start a timer? How much time do you have left?
I didn't start time.
Okay, well, say 2 minutes over.
So,
I mean,
We have been chasing the timber intent for a long time.
did you send a letter?
yes?
Yep.
Yeah, that should have been,
Yep.
I asked the number about that, that was supposed to be done. Okay? And we talked to the forester, and they said everything was handled. I'm not sure what's that is not my job. I take care of the road, it's a separate issue. I don't see why you're smirking.
Because I know for a fact that Mr. Ford right here knows there are rules and laws and he doesn't follow them.
The forester has been up there 3 times this year, and he said, everything like that was all right, I don't understand that.
Why don't we have an intent?
Had an intent?
We don't have an intent.
Like we had 2 of them up there.
We don't
No
have any.
signed intent.
And this needs to be an agenda item. If you want to speak about it, you're gonna have to put it on the agenda for the next meeting.
Alright,
We're happy to speak about it.
well, no, you really don't seem to be happy to speak about it, but.
I just feel like things aren't being done on the up and up, and I don't want the wool pulled over our eyes.
What does
The
that have
road-
to do with posting Fordham Road?
Protection of the
Because
road.
Protection of the road.
That road is the best it has ever been. This mud season was the best it has ever been. It's like, if I need to get trucks up there, I maintain the road so those trucks can get up there. There's no bill that goes to the town. You guys can't show any unreasonable damage to the road. There's never been any unreasonable damage. If we do, we fix it.
So-
Because I need to get those vehicles up
Look,
there.
and in all honesty, we were doing what we did, we posted that road because we did not know who was logging on there, because again, we have no legal timber, no intent So we posted the road to make sure that the road was maintained and you didn't have any type of an unreasonable damage. We certainly don't want you to have to go and fix the road because somebody else is logging up there.
Yeah, that's not bad. But, yeah, well, I'm looking for the agenda for the next meeting, so we'll take care of the, we'll take care of the intent and
Can
we'll
you
discuss it.
also let us know when you come in, if you're, I want your business to be able to do business. So we need to know what you're talking about when you're talking about how much weight do your trucks carry? Because you have the right to run your business, absolutely. We just want to make sure, again, don't want loaded log trucks down there messing up your road. If they're your loaded log trucks and you have the right to do that, but we need to know whose trucks they are.
Fair.
Okay?
I honestly thought the line to pick up and, I asked about it before, so, but I would like to be on the agenda for next week if we could.
Okay, so can you send an email in?
Yes.
You wanna give him a, yep. We'll give you the email, so you can send it in and we can get you on the agenda.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Ken.
Hang on one second. Wait,
One second.
we gotta give you an email. Hold on one sec. Sorry, Ken. Give me 1 sec. So it's 5:13. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
2 weeks.
Thank you.
2 weeks and 3 weeks.
It's the 13th.
3 weeks.
Well, whatever it is.
Just,
Thank you. It's the second.
Yeah, my name is Ken Randall, I'm on Route 10.
just so this, I'm sorry, I'm gonna interrupt one time. Just so this doesn't extend into the wee hours of the morning, I am gonna propose a 5-minute break. I want further comments, and I'll be the one running it. If anybody wants to write, I'll be the one to write that.
So I am employed as an archivist, Selectman Berkheimer and also Selectman Kimball were looking to me for advice about the historic records. You have historic records in paper form, old-fashioned form, they have also been microfilmed. I work as the archivist for Dartmouth College. Dartmouth College cannot be a repository for Coinage records. Dartmouth College only collects the first 50 years of the town's history. But there are 3 options for the town to deposit the records. One is, 2 of them are very good, one I don't think is a good option. So I talked to the University Archivist of UNH, Connor Cheetah. He referred me to Elizabeth Slamba of UNH Durham. UNH Durham Archives does have the records of towns. It was a very good conversation with Elizabeth. UNH Durham is properly staffed with professionally trained archivists, and of course they can provide the things that you want, which are climate control, weather and, temperature and relative humidity, critter control, fire control, water control. And as I mentioned, their full-time professional staff is paid by UNH. They're not dependent on gifts, as we know that goes up and down, and they're not dependent on grants, as we know that goes rapidly up and down right now. One interesting thing that she mentioned, which is something that I agree with, is that when towns donate to this repository, they do not transfer ownership. And so the records would only be on permanent loan with UNH, and that means that Croydon could ask for them back at any time. As an archivist, I believe that that's the proper thing to do, and Ms. Lama also agreed that that is the proper thing to do. The only drawback to having them deposited in Durham is that it's a little bit of a drive.
Yes.
And so, the other 2 options would be the New Hampshire State Archives as an archivist and a citizen. I don't think the New Hampshire State Archives is a good repository. There is too much constant change. A third possibility would be the New Hampshire Historical Society, which is a stable organization. The drawback there is they don't quite have the funding of UNH. as well as the fact that they have a lot of volunteer staff. But you would only have to drive to Concord. And so these records would be available to anybody in Croydon or anybody, in the world who wants to go there and view them. As an archivist, I think it would be a good idea to deposit the records at UNH Durham, but if you are concerned about the drive, kind of the B plus A minus option in my mind would be the New Hampshire Historical Society. So that is the result of that research. The second thing I'll say is, one of the challenges with microfilm is these were microfilmed a while ago, and we don't know how stable the microfilm is. And then if you get a microfilm reader, you don't know how well the microfilm reader is going to work. And so it's better to have this in kind of a controlled environment where there's professionals who have lots of microfilm and lots of readers. The real advantage of the town is that they are microfilm, which means if you decide to digitize the records, it is much easier and much cheaper because they've already been photographed, because the photographs are on the microfilm. Yes?
That's something I was going to actually ask you about. If it was a matter of our concern needing to get at these records,
Yeah.
would we have to go there, or do we have an archivist that would send us, as a town, what we would need?
If it was a small amount of records, they could scan them for you. If it was a large amount of records, unfortunately, you would have to transfer, not transfer, but find a way to get to Durham. Durham, it's also by appointment only at that particular archive. I will say this, is that something I think the first priority is to get a stable home for the records.
Yep.
But once that is established, I think it would be a good idea to look into digitizing them. And I can certainly volunteer, because I'm a practicing archivist, to find out the vendors. Again, because they've been microfilmed, digitizing the microfilm is much cheaper. And then when they're digitized, the town can have a copy. If the town wanted to put them on their own website, I can help with that. But also UNH Durham can also put the records on there. Now, sorry about that. I have the records. You have some school records that are a little bit too recent. So the school records, and even the 70s, you don't want to put that online. But the records for people who are reasonably deceased, I think that would be a great thing to have those online.
Do any of these options offer digitizing?
I'm
sorry.
No, you're okay.
Every organization is going through a lot of flux right now, especially with the federal government's sudden cessation of grant funds. Ms. Lamba did not offer to digitize them for us. I will say this, is that if the number is small, like 1,000 or 2,000, perhaps looking into the Sawyer funds or some other funds in order to digitize them. But I'll have to look at the prices if you want me to do so. Any other questions?
No. If you care to look into that, that's some info that we'd like to get back. We definitely appreciate you scouting.
Yeah, and I think I'll write a quick short report of this and send it to the select board. If this becomes an agenda item, obviously you want to publicly post and have a discussion about the records moving on. If it becomes an agenda item, sorry, no. Any other questions?
No, we're past our 5 minutes. It would have to come into an agenda item. I can't thank you enough for actually doing this. I appreciate your interest in this.
Paul does too.
Yeah, because yes, we really need to do something with those records.
And as an archivist, Ms. Lamba at UNH Durham basically said everything I would want.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Make a motion to close public forum 1.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye. No, yeah, all right.
So it should be Lunis. Next, we have Brenda, zoning board chair. That's my letter, I'll share yours too. She has, you have, yeah, so far. We'd like you to read, we have copies, we all have copies, we'd like you to read them.
Okay. To the Croydon Select Board. As I write to the Croydon, I'm seeing many residences that are not in compliance with the Croydon zoning board of adjustment ordinances. I've compiled a list below of names and addresses of what I've found so far, and would like the select board to enforce the proper ordinances to these infractions. See the list below. You want to read the list?
So I think my question, Ms. Williams, are you making these complaints? Because if the people decide, if we're gonna send them a letter, I think that they need to know where the complaint came from. And then I guess my biggest question is, when we send a letter, we have to tell them if they have a problem with how we interpret the ordinance, then they have the right to go to the zoning board of adjustment.
Okay.
And ask for
Clarification.
clarification or relief or a variance.
Okay, so number 2 on my list is a serious infraction of the camping ordinance,
Number 2, yes.
among other things. They've been there, it's been there close to or more than 3 years of someone living there. And when I went by there this afternoon, it actually looked like, I thought I saw an addition on the side of the camper. But I'm not positive of that, but that's what it looked like to me. So that absolutely needs to be dealt with in my book.
So my concern is there's no RSAs on here to refer to, and I know I don't have the time to research the RSAs for each one of these infractions and write a letter. So I'm not sure how to approach this.
Well, I think we agree that we need to send letters to each of these people.
Yeah.
Agreed, but that they need to be accompanied with the RSA, the violations.
Plus what it accompanies with
Well, we
violations.
don't have RSA numbers on our ordinances that we voted on in town here.
So violation of zoning.
It's a violation of the town zoning.
Town zoning.
They're town zoning ordinance non-compliance.
Okay, so the reason I think Amy is talking about the RSA's from is because the zoning ordinance that we have is 40 years old. Is there anything that trumps that zoning ordinance in the current RSA's? And I agree that anything that has to do with a health concern, we should look at. But if we're going to do one, we're gonna paint that brush across the town.
Right. So, for instance, you sent a letter to the guy out in Arizona because his brother was conforming a junkyard in his yard.
We did that, the car was on,
Another person's
it
property.
was on a pin,
It's
so
still there.
it could, it's still there.
Then we have to tell it.
If we're referring to.
So, and a lot of these
Station.
infractions
Station.
are junkyard
New
infractions.
car there. Yellow,
Okay,
blue
so
Mustang.
are we gonna enforce the current zoning that we have, junkyard infractions? Because if we're going to go with the current zoning ordinance that we have, junkyard, then nobody can have a junkyard anywhere in Croydon at all, in any way, shape, or form,
There would
because
be
that's what our
more on the
current
list.
zoning says. No junkyards.
Many more on the list.
That includes everybody who has anything more than one unregistered vehicle.
Right. What about a failed septic system that's running out all over the place?
That is a
That's
health
how-
concern, that is something completely
That-
Our
different.
health officer can deal with that.
Yeah, that is different than a junkyard ordinance. So,
And what about somebody building another house hidden back in the woods on their property without advertising, no one is there, or?
Yeah, so now we currently have updated an ADU ordinance. So somebody can actually build that house, but they have to come in and show us that they have a current septic or a septic that will take
Which
the
they
extra
don't,
one.
and they never got a building permit in the
Well,
first
they
place.
have to. But if we're going again, that needs to be taken care of, and I think that would probably have to do something with the health ordinance, the health officer.
Well, I think the health officer, I've spoken to him about this septic deal. He had contacted, I think, BES.
Correct.
And I don't know what the outcome was of that at this point.
Was that last year?
No. I think it was this year.
So I'm very concerned about any kind of failing septic system. The so-called night waste is awful, and we all know where it runs and how it runs, and it's all downhill onto somebody else's property and into our water table and into our rivers and our streams and our wetlands. And the diseases that come out of it are awful, they're horrific. But nobody has police power here for something like that except the health officer.
Right.
We can
Which is
send,
DES.
which is our health officer.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
We can send letters all we want.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. We don't have a blight ordinance. So a blight ordinance,
Oh, yeah, okay.
there's nothing we can do about that.
We don't have code enforcement.
We don't have code enforcement. I agree with you about the septic. So I think if you don't mind, if we can prioritize this, maybe we can start looking at people who are not
Septic
doing
compliant.
well on their compliance with the septic systems, because I think that that's a health concern that affects the entire town.
Well, people drive by and they can smell it,
Yeah.
if they have their windows down, and the neighbors are complaining about it, and so.
I don't know how the rest of the board feels. I mean, yes, some of the things that we're looking at they're not pretty to look at, but I think the health concerns are the ones that are a priority.
I think we highlight the ones that are, and keep the whole list, but let's get the ones off the list first. Is that okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
as long as you're doing something about something.
Well,
It's not that we don't want to, Brenda, it's we
Yeah,
have to make sure
I know,
there are
there's other
eyes.
things to do too.
no, it's not.
No,
We're worried
it's,
about the lawyers and everything
yeah,
else.
we've gotta make sure we do it properly so that we don't,
A
it
dog
doesn't
with
bite us in the
no,
butt.
a dog with no teeth can't bite. That's pretty much it. We don't have the teeth right now because there's no ordinance.
Are we done?
You did wonderful. I know this list is longer too.
And what about the sheds up on Moon Lake? Did you guys, anybody check that out yet? They're on the Cash Street side of Moon Lake. They're right
Right where we were last month, right?
There's two different ones.
Right, but same area.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I gave you guys a copy of the,
We've got a picture.
Yeah.
you can see the road right in the picture.
Yeah.
And it's less than 35 feet.
Absolutely.
Well,
The other ones are so,
right.
those people.
Anyways, and the camping season is, we're gonna be starting to fill out.
It'd be a good time to get a letter out to that group. So those are simple ones to be
Yeah.
eradicated or totally. Because they're just portable sheds.
Right.
No, if they can be moved, we send a letter and tell them to move them out
That's
of the
right.
setback.
35 feet, right away from the roof, basically, the stones all.
Correct.
So again, who wants to volunteer to write the letters? Susan and I have got to get together this Friday and do timber and assessing stuff, so we need somebody that's gonna do zoning compliance stuff. And maybe you can get together with Ms. Williams and write those letters.
Sure.
I won't be able to do it.
I don't want to. I'll jump in.
Okay?
I'm
We
ready.
got Ed and Carl and then work
All right.
with Ms.
I
Williams.
do along with her
Okay.
Go
anyway.
for it.
So you guys figure out a good time, thank you.
If we have more time together, then it's easier.
Fine.
If you've got time, that's great.
Thank you very much,
I
Linda.
I
Thank
would
you
not
very
take,
much.
I won't cry about you taking the reins this time. You go right ahead, sir.
And just give us a report of what you've done, thank you.
Well, I won't do anything. You get them all written up
Yeah.
and labeled and send them off to you guys. Sounds good. But which ones are we gonna try to send out now?
The serious
There's
one
the-
is the septic.
Septic and the light.
Yeah. And then,
No, no, what? Kimberly.
Kimberly,
Yes.
under 10, new items for donation, what is this?
Oh, so, the town graciously pays us a stipend for all of the time that we spend as select board members. I'm donating my stipend back to the town because, I have decided that we need some technology more. So, I sat down with our technology group, which is Paul and Melissa, and we're buying, Microsoft 365 for a couple of the computers here. And we're getting tablets for the boards to use. So you'll come in and there will be 5 tablets on this table that the select board, the planning board, the zoning board, everybody will be able to use, access the agenda, access the stuff that we use. We're also looking into lapel mics so that everybody can hear us and we don't have to share all of this stuff. And then, that Mac computer over there will become a public computer that people can use to look up things and print from. So, that's my donation. Very nice.
Do we have to make a motion to
Yeah,
accept
yeah.
it? So I make a motion that we accept Kim's generous offer.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next, Aaron McKeon. Yay. Chair of the school board.
Oh, I know this one.
Thanks for adding me to the agenda. My request this evening is that the select board authorize your chair to finalize and execute an agreement between the town and the school district, which would basically formally allow the district to use the property for educational purposes and also to be the steward of the building. The reason for this is that we're going to be applying for an LTIP grant to help offset the cost of the renovations to Little Red. And since the town is the property owner, we need something from the property that shows that you're allowing us to use the property and do repairs and whatnot to manage that aspect of things. And the reason it's sort of short notice is because they have agreed to allow us to expedite the application. Normally you have to get on our historical registry first and then do the application, but that would put us out like over a year. And we have a bond approved for this year only. So we're running those two things in parallel. So I put the application in by the end of this month. So I thought if Amy and I could just hash out the details, maybe have our lawyer review it, we could just quickly execute it. And I drafted one, but it's just me Googling around. We probably want, somebody to hire to just bless it. But that's what I was hoping to get done today, so that I can get that in by the end of this month. And that grant would cover up to 50% of eligible repairs for preserving the historical character of the building. And we're still hashing through the numbers, but it's looking like maybe 7% of our renovation work would be attributable to the historical piece of it. So I'm hoping to get 100%, but we'll see.
And the majority of the repairs would be inside and not altering any of the exterior, basically, right?
Yeah, the work on the exterior will be redoing brickwork. And there's certain things they allow, certain things they don't, like if it's just modernization or maintenance type things, you can't ask for that, but if it's preservation in nature or rehabilitation in nature, then they can help on that.
Correct.
And Aaron, I don't know if you heard, but we have a circuitry writer for energy, Doug Coogan, and he has all kinds of new things that he's trying to present. I'll send you the email that he sent, but one of the things that he has is for municipal buildings, there's insulation and there's lighting and there's all kinds of stuff where it really might help you, especially as you're going through this process. So I'm going to try to bring him in here where the school can be involved, select board can be involved, fire department, highway. But I'd really like you to look at some of the things that he's offering.
Okay.
But yeah, I think, sorry, that's sidetrack, squirrel, sorry. Well, what you're doing, I think is great, yes, we need a motion for it. Go ahead.
Well, I'm not even sure what the motion exactly is for. I mean, I know what it is.
It's for an agreement, so that.
Why don't you reach out, he's trying to.
Basically to authorize me to.
Right.
And I've already done this with my board, so that way we don't get bogged down on boards with all the details.
So it's a use, I make a motion that we accept the use and stewardship agreement, or allow Aaron and Amy to continue on with the use and stewardship agreement. Are you happy with this one?
Yes, okay, absolutely. He called me talking about it. This is the best way to do this.
Do you want to have it reviewed?
Oh, yes, I would like to send this to Jane.
And I don't care if it's our lawyer or your lawyer, just somebody who wants to look at it.
Then I make a motion that we accept the use and stewardship agreement between the town of Croydon and the Croydon School District pending town attorney and school attorney approval.
Or second.
And or.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Aaron.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other two got one, but good. What? No. What are you talking about?
Good.
Keep the wheels turning.
I make a motion to open public forum 2.
Second.
You don't
All
have to
those in
stand up
favor?
and
Aye.
Sorry.
It's all good.
Just want to ask the board if they received my emails about Eversource and my water conditioner again.
Emails?
I
I have not seen that.
I have not. Who are you sending, what email? I have been checking that email every day. I'm gonna give you a new email to use.
Why didn't you call me? Why didn't you call me?
Well, I had to be there, they came out. But,
They came back though with that big machine. I saw the machine go up the road.
Yeah.
yeah, okay. I didn't hear your phone. Can you access the whole email?
I can't. I checked it this morning.
Yeah, she didn't get it, she said.
So their low impact vehicles is very low impact. They're up there doing donuts in the road with 2 of them at $150,000 a piece.
It's a new toy.
Oh, my goodness.
They had
It was
5
so
or 6 bucket trucks up there for 2 days. They addressed that with Amy.
You said that they were training.
They were training.
I don't know why they'd be training on a class 6 road.
Because they
During
go
mud
up there
season.
and do buckets.
And I did let them know that they were in the truck, not working.
They were in the truck most of the day, either sleeping or playing on their phones.
What?
If you're not-
So I'm gonna forward this email to my contact.
So I will read email both of those emails to you. I was just asking that they take ownership of the damage was taken.
Yep.
To run trucks.
I think
on
that
coastal
your gentleman
roads,
will take care of that.
Mud season.
Yep.
There was non-emergency maintenance work. And it's on the major power line that they can access from Camel Pump.
Yep. It doesn't make any
And I
sense.
think it's time that they start doing that. But I will read email all of those to you.
Okay.
We appreciate you reading them and.
Can you remind me the name of your room?
I'm sorry?
the name of your road one more time, I'm sorry. Thank you.
And you know, while I was driving around looking at all the roads one Sunday, Hayward does not have the weight limit sign on it, but Sugar River Drive does.
You can't get there.
So you can't get to Hayward without going through Sugar River. So I thought it was okay, but maybe maybe we'll rethink that and maybe.
You can't pass Mill without going.
Yeah, you go up Sugar River and there's Hayward and it says class 6, landowners only from such and such a
Yeah,
date
but
to
you
such
can't
and
get
such a
there,
date.
you wait too much.
Yeah.
Unless you're.
Well, on Sugar River, there's the weight limit sign. So you go into Sugar River and there's Hayward, they
Yeah.
shouldn't have gone there.
Same way with dead end roads, you're only supposed to go down.
Practice the closed eye sign pass.
So we'll try to figure something out. I'm amazed.
I am so sorry that I did not get that email.
Thank you.
Thanks, Henry.
Anybody else?
Oh, no. Sorry, just one thing, related to the ordinance conversation. I think you're already planning on doing this, but if you're going to start sending enforcement grams, I think you ought to really approve a policy first before you do that, that clearly outlines all the steps that you're going to take. Because otherwise you're going to get accused of being part of it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
If we don't have a policy, oh yeah, I'll do it after. I'm sorry.
Dave?
Croydon cleanup's going well.
I did some today.
It was a nice day.
It was beautiful day, kept the boys busy.
I know Barton Road next week, you know, and everybody stopped and thanked me, and I'm like, come on, and, you know. It's exciting, but I do it for Croydon. Is there anything I should know about is for Saturday, because I have the Croydon cleanup for the Saturday to start at the fire station. Somebody, forgive me for forgetting, Sandra Holt was asking me about bags and
You should have blue bags.
yeah.
We donated them last year, but I don't know who provided them or who
I
got
think
them.
someone went to the store and bought them.
And then we reimbursed them.
Yes.
Yeah, they're just pale blue bag for plain. That way you went over to recycle.
Well, those are from the state.
Yeah, we used to get those for free.
I donated some last year too.
I know.
A bunch of tractor bags and
I can,
I don't know if it was.
They don't have to be blue bags.
Right.
I don't know if it'll work out, but I can reach out to Newport. They're doing a cleanup this weekend as well. I'm sure that they've got quite the abundance of bags. So I don't know if they'll do anything for us, but I can try to make a call tomorrow.
I'll make out a box in a couple of months. It's good. I hope everything's orchestrated on everybody's.
Yeah, so Jay knows it's at the fire station, and I know last year I was gonna bring my truck and trailer, and he had his there. If he hasn't said he's gonna have his trailer there, I'll make sure that our truck and trailer is there. Okay.
So when are you dumping? When are you gonna dump?
Before the transfer station opens Sunday.
After the trash is picked up and before it
I'm
goes
just leaving
away.
the truck, someone else is gonna have to.
No, I'm just trying to make sure
Make sure that we've got space for everything.
if you need me to go down Sunday morning or something to help open it up or whatever.
That would be amazing. But I don't know who's bringing the truck.
I mean, I
to
could
it.
do that, if you're willing to help me, I can drive the truck down there.
Yeah, I can easily open
You
it up.
bring your keys. On Sunday morning.
Donuts and Hayward.
Will be the first time.
Yeah,
Everything's good.
yep, thank you, Dave.
Thank you guys, and I'll see you on the
Okay, sounds good.
Call Steve.
Don't you know him?
I know him, but you guys can talk trash.
Literally.
Literally.
Anybody have anything else? I make the motion to close public forum too. Second. All those in favor? Aye.
Donald Coolin, who is a neighbor of mine on Winter Road, has put in, that he would like to be part of the Conservation Commission.
Oh, I love it.
So we have a second. Also at the envisioning session, Jan Mitchell said that she might have interest, so I will reach out to her, so we might actually have a full
Wow.
conservation.
Jan would be good.
Yeah, she would.
And Dawn does a lot of hiking and walking all over Croydon, so there's a lot of trails and such, so cool.
Yay.
Yeah.
Do I need to put
I
his
see
name
that
in the
property
minutes?
still isn't closed according to,
Winter Road,
The
and
name?
it's cool.
okay, because it still says it's pending.
No, it's
Jan Mitchell and
Don Doolin, Doulin.
Okay, so now, the last item is the non-public. I make a motion to go to non-public under 91A.
91A. Where is it? 91A.
Hang on,
Three.
hang on, hang on. One second.
Colon 3.
91A.
Yep, colon 3, comma, Roman numeral 2, parentheses, 1, close parentheses. Consideration of legal advice provided by legal counsel.
Thank you much.
I second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Let them know we're shut down after we come back.
Yes,
now.
please.
For anybody that cares to get out of here, we're going into private session, coming back, and then wrapping up. Then we're gonna adjourn. Just in case y'all wanna get out of here, or not, hang out. Do what you do.
Don't check on that.
Yeah, it's very busy.
what time is that? 10 a.m. 10 a.m. Hopefully I can get instructors to get help and I'll be there to pass them out. Right. So, sure, guys, just like we take here, I'll get down. Yeah.
Because I get out to the floor tonight and I want some snacks.
Thank you for doing that. The little girls did it. Do that. No, what's that? They drink that hard cider liquid.
That too.
What is that?
Iced tea.
Yes.
I was picking up seltzer water with alcohol today. All up and down Barnum with all nasty, but yeah.
Yeah, what's that tea called?
Yeah, so like yeah, for the bird,
Yeah.
it's a, you know, it's kind of, yeah, sad to say, well, it's sad, yeah, same.
A guy that lived in
Oh, yeah.
we were buying graduates,
And I got,
stuff to put in vending machines. But if you look at me, I 100 calories don't even help me out. It's not meant to fill you up. It's just meant to take the edge off of that hunger right. Right. No, I'm lucky. For whatever reason, my genetics and my family, all of us are skinny. Right. So, but I have what I call my chill button gets hit quick. Yeah. So, like my mother, 19 stepped up in group lunch, and she ended up having a whole steroid. So, yep.
So we get it out?
Sure.
It's all over. Yeah, yeah. They said that once they get done,
Especially, they just do all the sessions and close out and
it's just real.
that's where the agenda was showing.
Well, thank you. Well, me too.
That's right, the meeting is the annual meeting, so we'll get
We
that.
will not be here 2 weeks from now.
You guys don't come to the planning meeting. I'm trying to avoid coming to everything. Good for you.
Someday, if I get my strength back, I'd like to run for president.
Doesn't have to be smart, it's just gonna be somebody that's willing to do work.
Right.
And you don't have to run for more than you almost start to volunteer to do things.
I'll tell you, with Ross, I asked him if I could sit through a ballot.
Right, where the kids study on it. We've got, conservation commission is studying on it, so it's gonna be cool. I tell them there's two now. I can give you what a sheet shows what the what's expected.
Okay.
The nice thing is, the next municipal produces a whole bunch of stuff.
Right.
We're hoping to have people volunteers for the yeah, different positions, and this shows, okay, the conservation commission here's kind of what typically expected. Exactly. Right.
I know.
Plus, I think you're trying to push somebody to get.
I know.
There's a son that's saying this way because they've been established Sutton, London. Yeah, well, see, that was the other thing that, see, what I was gonna do is I was gonna talk
I put it in my truck. I'm gonna put it in this year, but she's gonna get it when I pass away. Or if I get sick enough, I have to go to like another park road and be in a home, where I can't do all of the accurate and stuff. And so, she wants to be able to have a, and maybe there and have a catalog.
I know, he's asked me like 3 times. Every time.
You've been in town long enough.
You told me that.
That you should be down to the house. He was gonna let me down to breakfast and go over conservation. But he ended up, I told him the other day that we have a lot of years now it's starvation for now. Right.
Say that,
But I don't.
but the look on his face is just like, I'm trying to collect you, but I'm gonna need that. So you can check your stuff.
Property out there, they'll just have to pay to take it out of, her view.
And a lot of those laws, and zoning and planning board working on getting all of that stuff, trying to take care of what you can.
Everybody talks to me.
I just got my, Monday, I have to pay Tuesday. I called Monday and they had authorized my driveway cement, for the logging, but I gotta turn in driveway. Because it's gonna get it off, right, there's a big funeral.
Oh,
I'm gonna get, I'm gonna open the gate, I'm gonna get a number to go, and I already talked to cancer, and it's gonna be an access road here.
Thank you.
We're
And
gonna
they
have
gave me this thing that will pop up, right? It's right in your,
to get in.
you pump it up
So
and
we
you're,
don't have to go on the road. But when there's a big funeral, like I have.
I'm just listening and the line.
I'm gonna end up opening the gate and I'm gonna roll and let them people that walk. It's gonna be an metal.
You don't believe it, what is happening all around this way.
Basically, normal field that they allow parking on certain situations, but not a parking lot.
Right. Yeah, it's gonna be a nature show, but I don't think it will be all property.
Oh, I'm saying this. I know that girl's
Well,
face.
they park somebody's motion down in my house on the lawn.
She's ready to blame me.
To give it a feel, she knows how much space takes.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Good night, guys.
Good night. Okay. I'll bring it back when I go walking up.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you.
Okay. Take
Yeah,
care.
well, he is even gonna be around this weekend, so just forget about
No,
that.
I'm gonna be eating my rib free.
Don't forget your mother's flower.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Nice hibiscus.
It is, I love it. It always blooms at night like today.
Oh, it's a gorgeous day.
It just knows that I'm gonna be here and it's like, give it to Brian's mom.
Yep.
Joe. He was full of it. He was full of himself last week, the last meeting. Because they were going to do hydraulics on that and he was doing it's just, I was about to tell him like, fucking, I'm done with this.
Joe, be humble. Just don't say a thing unless they ask you a question and then answer them. But and me and Rob suddenly were sitting there like you right now, and we're in there, and you just hear fucking you fucking, and I'm just like, and Russ's face is just like, you know, like, you hear anything? Turned up, and he's like, I'm like, I think we should leave. And he's like, I'll get the door for you. I'm like, I can hear him out there. It's like, and I goes, Carl, from what Joe tells me, because he thinks I like to be with Carl's like, I'll fucking kill you, and I'll fucking kill Dave out there. You guys have a fucking problem coming at me with this stuff. How do you fucking get dragged into this fucking shit? Joe called me up the next day, and he's like, yeah, stay police want to talk to you because what happened in there, and blah, blah, blah. I wasn't even here. Well, your name was mentioned, so they're going to want to talk to you. I'm like, well, I couldn't tell him I don't want to talk to him. That was another thing he had. And I called Paul the next day, and I'm like, all right, so all this shit went down. He's like, why are you involved in this? I'm like, I fucking know, Paul. Somehow they mentioned my name, and then they were going to kill me. Carl was going to kill me. And I guess this big police float, and Paul, yeah, they called me, and they want minutes of the private session. And there's, I sent it to my lawyer, I sent it to Courtney's lawyer to talk to her, and they're engrossed in it. And I'm like, just, if you can, get me out of it. I don't want anything to do with what they're doing. Joe checks himself so much. Every time I see him, he's got something full of fucking this. Good job. It's good pay. It's benefits when you actually claim and be put down if you want fucking health insurance. Don't cry if you don't have it. I need to reimburse you your expenses. Get health insurance. That's what it's for. You know, this fellow runs, it's just right.
It's just fucking police. Like, yeah, do I need to go to the doctor sometimes? Yeah, sometimes I have to go to the doctor. But I don't need to go to the doctor all the time. I don't have a chronic illness or things like that. And that's why I'm constantly using the hospital experience. Sometimes I need it, and I don't feel I need to pay for health insurance for the same. Okay, here's your bill.
Give me a script, like, go to our reps and $20 to pay the bill.
Right. I mean, like, nothing to do for any short-term problems. Oh, so you're screwed. And you actually need medical coverage, and this is a short time while you're dealing with this, like, come on. Oh, right, because it's gonna be another fucking month before they can schedule it.
And then they're gonna say, oh, we need a referral, and there's a 3-month wait on the toes or whatever.
Exactly.
And then it's not even, oh, we're gonna operate on the fucking, no, they're just gonna say, oh, what's the problem? And 4 months from now. And then you're gonna say, oh, my foot got caught. And then you're like, oh, okay, we'll schedule it in August.
Right, exactly. It's such bullshit.
Like, I fucking gave up. My spine is trembling in my shoulders. Well, he's like, we're gonna send it to this guy just to double check. And the fucking dude's like, he's a spine orthopedic specialist.
Okay.
Great. Great. And he's like, I want you to go see the neurologist, get your bladder scope. And I'm like, what is it? I'm like, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling just fine.
That's what I'm trying to get my blood checked out, and my spine is concerned about. Why are you trying to send me there? Are you weak?
Fucking send me to Mount Sky Hospital. And then the guy wants a young guy, and he's just like, I don't know what you're fucking doing. This is stupid. You need a urologist, sure, I'll take it, but you don't need one. In case there's a problem, here's my number. I'm like,
I'm so glad I wasted my time discussing.
thank you.
Being really fun laptop.
Thank you for accepting this, yeah. This is awesome.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. There are people who need doctors more regularly. And, you know, I really feel that should be the way it is. It shouldn't be everybody healthcare. And I know the doctor can say, well, you shouldn't have to pay $20,000 because I had to have 80 CAT scans in the 2 months I was in the hospital.
Yeah.
One CAT scan is $1.
It's seriously. I don't know, like, telling everyone can't I just continue to use doctors because it's just a mean to you. It's not gonna do anything that bad.
And also want to talk to you when you're full head walking. You know, has to do anything.
Yeah.
Now you want to stuff like that.
And that was fucking hilarious. Like, I'm not gonna stop your bladder. Pitch yourself. You're fine, man. I'm fine. That's why I'm like, how many, do you have any problems with it? No, how do you feel with it? Perfect. And he's like, well, and the spinal doctor, he's like, I want to make sure your foot, it's not carpal tunnel. I'm like, I've had carpal tunnel twice. Not the physical therapy, but twice. And I've been healing my fingers
Yeah.
just come here. I wanna talk to things that don't exist, and you guys are fucking kicking them.
You're ruining my moment.
And she's got to talk about the actor, and she's like, what's your address here? It's not here, she's like, that's it, yeah. I get one, follow up on mushrooms.
Oh, here you go.
2 days later, she's like, that, holy, thank
I'm in no hurry.
I lost one. Oh, baby, what did I do? You bring it on Saturday.
This is yours.
Make a
This
motion.
is yours.
Oh, I make a motion to seal the meeting minutes.
No, we gotta be in public session.
Help me, Kim.
All right, I make a motion that we enter, wait a minute, I gotta wait for Melissa.
Gotta wait for Joe.
Go.
I make a motion that we re-enter public session.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. I make a motion that we seal the private session minutes indefinitely.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I make a motion we adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Yay!
Don't fall asleep on the way home.
She's the queen of motion.
What?
Can't get the door.
Oh.
I sure as hell didn't forget mine.
Oh, you tried yours?
Yeah.
Oh, let me try mine. Is that one different though?
Shouldn't be.
This Xfinity guy was letting us know that the adult channels were changing. I wish I had time to read that before I started reading. The adult channels on Xfinity are changing to a new group of numbers, just so you know, Carl.
I've got no use for Xfinity, I've got definitely no use for Xpedia.
Oh, building, we didn't get to it.
That one.
See, it took me all 2 minutes to bring that up.
Jason Daggett.
What'd you call me?
You heard me.
Hi, Mark.
Did you get that clicker, did you?
Hi, Mark.
I got to think about it. Was it my name? Was it my
Oh, wow. We're done?
These are yours, guys.
Not mine.
Xfinity. There, yes, here they are. This is where they were all put.
I didn't do anything, it was sitting right there.
I'm just, this is.
Okay, yeah. Highway block grant aid funds. DOT information report. Who filled it out?
The vouchers, I took care of Mark.
I
all that because I'm gonna print them.
Oh,
Sitting right
yeah,
here.
I had pretty
I know, what's
files.
away from me?
Do we not need this?
That can be tracked.
You're spreading out.
Too much stuff.
I don't have adult channels, I only have like, Bluey and Paw Patrol.
Oh, man, you got those too?
Spider-Man, yeah, we have kid channels.
Yeah.